Okay, ladies. So, good evening. Good evening, listeners. You're welcome to the Voices of the Millennials right here on Love Bay Radio, your favorite show, coming to you, streaming to you on all our social media platforms. My name is Anna Maria Emisa, your favorite host. This is the platform where we talk about everything that concerns young adults, millennials, and this is definitely a journey of exploration, empowerment, and understanding. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's going to be the best 50 minutes max of your time. Hi, and so I'll be interviewing my guests tonight. The topic that we are discussing is entrepreneurship. We are exploring the concept of entrepreneurships, and my guest for tonight is Michelle Coba of Minika
COBBLAH.
Creations. Cobblah, yeah, and Evangeline. Evangeline, did I mention it right?
Yes, Evangeline.
Yes,
James.
Evangeline GYAMFI of Burgundy Effects, which is the Stella Solis Real Estate branch Star Management Ghana, right?
Yes, yes.
It's great to have two power ladies in the house tonight, right here on the Voices of the Millennials. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. Actually, I'm really excited to be here. It's been a long day, but was looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm
Excellent.
also great. Yeah, I'm also great. It's also been a stressful day, but we made it.
Yeah, you're pulling through. That's wonderful. So let's get straight into the conversation tonight. Very conversational and relaxed because there are young adults out there listening to us, trying to get inspiration from women like you. So we're talking about entrepreneurship. First off, I just want to know how the idea of being an entrepreneur came to each of you. I mean, I know that as young adults growing up, we have a checklist, right? We have a checklist of who we want to be in the future, the kind of company or career that we want to take, what we want to do. So at what point did the idea of becoming your own boss come to mind? I'll start with you, Michelle.
Hi, everybody. It's my name is Michelle COBBLAH, as Anna Maria said, and I'm the founder and CEO of Minika Creations. Actually, funny enough, that's not my only business. I also have Koshel Couture, which is a fashion line. But today I stand here for Minika Creations. The idea of being an entrepreneur, that's interesting. I think I've always been a creative person. And so just I had a good encouragement from my support system, my parents, to consistently channel my creative energies into making money for myself. Because one thing that I find myself constantly doing is creating in every space that I find myself, whether in the corporate world, whether in family businesses, whether in with my friends. I've just always been that creative voice among my friends and among my work colleagues. And so I think a big thank you to my parents who have constantly been encouraged me to constantly learn to improve myself in whatever I do, and to my friends that have constantly encouraged me, not silence my voice in any way, but encouraged me to push to be the better version of myself. And to God, because I'm a Christian, I'm just saying thank you to Him for giving me the skills that I've constantly expressed over
Mm.
time.
So what's Benika Creations like? What is it about?
So Monica Creations is an events business.
Mhm.
So Michelle, it was actually inspired by a friend called Anika who I've done a lot of my creative work with. And so Michelle and Anika, Monica. And I chose creations because, like I said, I'm a creator. I'm not just like an events person, but in every space that I find myself, I create. And so when you come to me and say, oh, I want to do this, I put together my creative juices, do a lot of research and inspiration. I literally sleep and I dream creativity. That's how
Nice.
much of a person I am, creative person I am. And so Minika Creations, my handle on Instagram is Minika Creations, and same on YouTube, same on TikTok. Is basically a creative space for events. And so any events, just bring it to me. I'm gonna put something together and create something great for you.
Right. Eva, tell us, how did the journey of entrepreneurship start with you?
Okay, so mine started at a young age. I actually saw my mom being a corporate woman and also a businesswoman. Anything she touches succeeds. And I'm like, oh, I want to grow to be like this woman. I need to follow in her footsteps. So that's how I started. So way back in senior high school and junior high school, I started selling lollipop. And from there, senior high school, I started selling watches. So something that they sell out for like a fancy, they should give it to me out for a 10 cities. I'll give it to my colleagues and friends for a 20 cities. So I think later when she found out I was selling the 100% profit, she was like, who taught you that kind of business? But then the beauty about it is anytime she gives me something, I don't send it back. Like I actually send her money back to her. So she was so proud of me. And I always love to bring people together. I love the whole sense of community. And way back, I was part of the Gunsa in school and also
What's
entertainment.
that? What's Nusa?
Gunsa. So it's
Oh,
Gunsa.
oh,
Yes.
okay. Like
It's an association
those
of young people
unions.
trying,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
exactly.
Mm,
So I was always working as a woman commissioner, always planning events. And one time someone was like, you are really good at what you do. Even when we give you a 2 days period, you are still able to come up with something great. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not bad. So right after senior high school, I decided to host a Thanksgiving program to God, saying, oh, we thank you for taking us through this whole process. And I brought some of my friends on board, and we had our first program, which was the Kadosh Praise. And I think our guest artist then was Joe Metal. And we filled the whole church with a capacity of like 1,000 students. And Joe was like, no, Eva, the way you already know Joe Metal. So he's like, the way you planned this thing, I think it's something you are good at. I think it's something you should go into, like event planning. And my mom had seen like series of events I've planned without taking any money and doing it with a whole passion and stuff. She was like, no, it's something I really love. So I decided to look into it when I went to university, and people were just coming to me to plan events. And I only love to plan, to be honest. It was just planning and coordination. So I decided to move on to go into the planning and coordination school. That was event master class. And when I went, I realized I love design. I was designing effortlessly. So I decided to also branch into event design. So, yes, here I am now after how many years doing event design and planning. And also with my sales background, I decided to move into real estate, and it's been very great. It's been really great so far.
so you guys moved. You basically moved from the corporate world to becoming your own bosses, or you were just
Okay,
uh
so for me, I was working in the bank. I was with Stanbic Bank, and I was a salesperson in Stanbic Bank for um private section and executive banking. So that's those who earn 10,000 Ghana cedi and above. We were supposed to literally bring those kind of clients in there. And I realized that the kind of effort and passion I was putting in was selling and also convincing them and making them feel at home. It was something I could also push into my business for them to know that, okay, if your business is with me, I'll make you feel at home. And if I'm also selling a house to you, I'll make you feel that, no, this is a home you would love to live in for this number of years. Or even if you're a landlord, I would actually make sure you get investments, monthly investment coming through. So it was something I loved doing in the corporate world, and I decided to just push it into my personal world, and I just moved straight into entrepreneurship, and it's been powerful so far.
nice, nice. Um, uh, Michelle, you were telling me that and you are a creative person. So does that mean that you went straight into your business, or you did some form of corporate business, like you were working for somebody for a while before you ventured into what you do now?
Yeah, so I currently work with Deloitte. I work as I'm a senior analyst for immigration case management. There's a public policy side of me as well, which I can't let go. And in
Okay.
fact, I'm doing my master's at U of T with for public policy as well. Just because I love speaking about current issues. I like debating those as well, and so there's that part of me. But when I'm not doing that, then I'm definitely doing like events, or I'm doing like putting some clothes or something like that together. In terms of branching into events, I just Monica is under a year old. I started last year in the summer, around I think in July I'll be 1 year. It was after doing a series of events for my friends, and there was that encouragement to why don't just do this as a business? Because technically you've planned like 5 parties already, and it's like, oh, you keep like you literally do everything that an event planner does. So I actually launched Monica under a year ago. But when, like I said, I'm still doing Deloitte. I work corporate, and I honestly don't foresee myself leaving that for a long while still growing my events and my clothing line.
Mm. So, that yeah, young adults are a bit of struggling when it comes to idea generation, trying to know what exactly they want to do, you know, how to even grow the idea that they have to be able to venture into something like entrepreneurship. What advice would you give a young adult who is listening to us and is so wanting to nurture that entrepreneurship idea that he or she has, but has no idea how to start?
The
I'll
first thing
start.
I'll say is,
Yeah,
oh,
with you,
sorry.
Michelle. No,
Okay.
with you, with you.
Okay, very good. The first thing I'll say is seek wisdom. Like there's nothing, wisdom is so priceless. I can't even explain to you. It's and I think like I said again, like I'm Christian and I understand wisdom, the importance of wisdom. Um and even in the corporate world, wisdom is key. Also outside the corporate world, wisdom is key. Just gain knowledge to the point where it fills you so much, you know that you have to pour out of the belly of out of your belly, out of your brains. Just seek wisdom, because no matter what you do, if you don't seek enough wisdom, it's not going to be sustainable. If you don't seek enough wisdom, you are going to be it's already a rocky road when you think you know what you're doing, but when you don't know what you're doing at all, you're going to have a really hard time. And so seek wisdom is the first thing that I'll say. The second thing is that you can just start small, start from somewhere. Just always start from somewhere. I think one of the hurdles that I had personally was because I'm a very big picture person. I'm a very creative. I started and I was like, oh my God, like when I was doing this for my friends, I was having a lot of people come to me but now that I started this as a business, it's like, oh, but I was like, you know what? Just start small. Eventually it will build up itself. People will see the value that you bring to the table, and you wouldn't even have to ask. People will come to you when they know you seem like you know what you're doing, or when you know that you know what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. um and so don't ever move with fear, rather move in faith. Believe in yourself, believe that, look, I can do it regardless of like whatever, like my circumstances or whatever my resources are.
Mm.
One of the greatest things that I learned growing up is that you don't necessarily need money to start a business. You need a client to start a business. If you don't have any money at all, but you have a good client, you're able to convince the person to get their money to render that service. It's not even your money at that point. And so that's one of the things that really motivated me. I don't have to have all the money to purchase all the capital that I need, but just putting in the effort to gain a client would actually bring me money to be able to build that capital. And so don't the reverse is what a lot of people think. Oh, I have to have money to even start my events. No, you need a client. That's what you need, because that's how you're gonna get the money to even start what you want to do. And then the third thing I'll say is that always have always reach out to the community. Like, your community is so important. And that's one thing that I've really learned in this entrepreneurial journey, that you can do it yourself, but you need community. You need encouragement. You need other to learn from other people. You need people to say, oh no, this thing that you did, you didn't do it right, or like this thing that you did, you could have improved. This thing that you did, just giving you that feedback. Community is really important. So if you don't think like you have community, please reach out to me. I'll be your community, because I'll provide that
Nice.
encouragement. I'll provide that encouragement for you to go get what you want. If you're crying in your bed and things times are hard, at least you have that one person that you can call to say, look, you know what, you're good at this. This was a hurdle, but you can push through. Just having that, and I'll say those three things um have basically helped groom me to this point. in my entrepreneurial journey.
That's wonderful. Eva, let's hear from you. I was asking, I don't know if you still remember the question, but I
Yeah, I
was asking,
remember.
yeah, okay, so let's hear from you.
So my advice would be that to start something you are passionate about. Passion drives perseverance, and that's crucial in entrepreneurship. Like, don't be afraid to take risks or learn from your failures. They are often your best teachers. And networking is very key. It's something I really learned on my journey. Like, networking is very key. So you have to surround yourself with supportive and knowledgeable people. And I think my sister has actually mentioned that the wisdom and also people, they are key factors to making your business work in any way or any form. And most importantly, you have to be adaptable. The business world is always changing, and being able to pivot will keep you ahead in times of need, in times of any mishaps. If you are
Mm,
adaptable, you're able to move in this business world.
mm. So when it comes to doing business, market research is quite important. You need to know how you're going to stay afloat. So you need to know what the people actually want, whether your business is relevant, whether, how did that market research journey go for you when you were starting off your business? Michelle.
Okay. So I think for me, just being in that space already, like I said, I really started with family and friends, and I've been doing this for a long time. I realized that there's a lot of copying and creativity. People just like pick something and then they just go and do the same thing. And for me, I realized that that's not who I am. Like I said, wherever you put me, even in the corporate world, like you will come and tomorrow I've changed something. I've changed the arrangements of certain things with permission, of course. But it's just something that I absolutely love to do. Just be that creative person. And so I think for me, just inquiring, people will come when when I do an event, people come and say, oh, how do you think of this? Like my last event, I have one event in like 2 days, and when I was just having that consultation, they were like, look, we're gonna start a trend. And I'm like, yeah, you're starting it. And so that I realized that that was my, like, the power that I used to bring, competitive advantage that I was bringing to the table. And so even though a lot of people had branched into events, literally every Ghanaian auntie is an event planner. So like you literally have to be like, to bring a certain energy and difference into taking over that space. And that's one of the things that I realized, that even though when I did the research and I realized that a lot of people just carry things and just copy, I was like, this is what's gonna make me different. And so if you even go to my page, you realize that a lot of the things that I do, it's not a copy and paste. It's actually work being put together to give that creative difference.
Mm,
And so I think for me, doing market research was really good to be able to help set me apart and also to help me identify my niche. Believe you me, every events are different. The way you do corporate events are different from the way you do social events. In social events, there are different like types of events. And so
mm,
just that market research helped me educate myself about, no, this is what I bring to the table. This is my market advantage. And also this is what I want to change about the space that I've researched about.
mm. So whilst doing that, we all know, or we all have the notion that if you're going into entrepreneurship, there's the need for you to have a business plan where you are able to strategize and put your goals and set whatever targets, and your financial projections should be all on point and everything. Did you have to get a specialist to help you set up your business plan, or it was something that you just kept dreaming or stayed in your room with your creative self to bring up?
Okay, so this is a really good question, because like this is literally has been a challenge I've been tackling over a good period of time before I got a hang over it. In hindsight, when I started, truthfully, I started out of excitement. It was like, oh, whoa, let's do this. And so I didn't really put pen to paper. And so at some point, I think in December, I had it was called a season soiree, and I invited a couple of people. I had people, and it was a ticketed event. And after I finished the event, I sat down and I was like, how much did I make from this event? Because I was so excited about it. I didn't really do the numbers. But the good thing and like Evangeline said, you learn from your mistakes. In hindsight, if I just were to start this again, I would have put pen to paper so that I have something that I'm focusing towards. But it was never too late. So in December, I was like, you know what? I went on a retreat and I sat there and I was like, look, we are going to make a plan. So I took a course. I took a 6 months course, and actually it was a 4 to 5 months. It wasn't exactly 6 months, but I took the course and I said, you know what, this and this and this is what I want to learn. This is how I want to make myself better. I have the creative side, I have the a business side from somewhat freestyling, but I want to be a better business person beyond the creativity. And so it took me time. It took me, like I said, I started in July. So it took me 5 months to realize that, look, you need to sit yourself down. Otherwise, you end up doing things and you won't make any money. And that's not being a business person. And so I learned that in December, after that retreat, I realized that I started having a change in the things that I do. So now when people even come to me, I'm like, okay, if this is your budget, this is what I'm going to offer you. You might not be excited about it, but this is what your money is going to be worth. Because I realized that I had to start implementing that business side of me, because otherwise I would just get excited over creativity and then I would just over deliver, and then I look at my pocket, I'm like, this is not giving. Yeah, so it did take me time, definitely, but I would encourage everybody who's starting that just for sustainability sake, make sure that you put pen to paper. It doesn't have to be perfect, because believe you me, even the CEOs of the CEOs are still learning. Like, they get better every day, but at least have something that you are focusing on. It gives you a certain focus and direction, and then that way you even realize, sometimes even writing gives you that, makes you realize that, oh, maybe I can improve in this point, maybe I can do better at this point, this is what I'm really good at. Just having that awareness of self so that you can put in the measures to improve yourself, as you go.
Eva, tell us about Ghana. How how is the system roping in a business like event planning? How many people are doing events and are
More than
trusting?
1,000.
Oh wow, and are trusting young adults. Ghana is one typical country where the notion of, oh, you're too young, you can't do it. So how are you roping that in to become the businesswoman that you are?
Okay, so when I started, as you said, Ghana is you're too young, you can't do it. So I
Yes.
had that even for my family. Oh, why are you doing events? Even there's nothing in events. And I'm like, that's my passion. And I believe that's where the world will move to in years to come. I
Yeah.
was saying this without any market research. I was just saying it for saying it because it was something I loved. It was something I found joy in. So I decided to go hard on it. And when I started with market research, I really didn't do enough market research. To be honest, all I wanted is, okay, I have an event. I'm going to work for the person, whether the person has money or the person doesn't have money. I'm willing to work with different niches. But then I think after 6 months, I realized that no, I need to carve that niche for myself, because someone can come with a budget and you tell the person, okay, with this budget, this is what you are going to have. And they rather get pissed because they come with an elegant design and they give you they mention just any amount and you're wondering, like, do you know what the prices on the market is? So what I decided to do was, okay, I'm not going to work for the low income people. I'm just going to carve my niche. I'm going to work with, that's the truth.
Period.
It's the truth.
Period.
I don't mind working for those who do not like paying are the ones that will stress you the most when it comes to events. And
Yeah.
I've had that several times, and I've come to that realization that I have gone past that stage now. I've been able to go through that stage. I've gone past it. I am willing to say, okay, I'll work for a low income person because maybe I know you, you are my friend. I'm willing to do that with you. But prefer to work with middle income, high income, because then you can speak my language. You understand what I am bringing to the table. This is what's happening in the market, but this is the additional thing I'm also willing to add to what you are getting. And that has been working for me perfectly. And I
Wow.
realized that it took some part of stress off me, because now you are now trying to convince other people that their budgets that do not match with the design, that, oh, you can do it this way, this way. And the buhaha is too much in respect to that. Really. I think she can testify to that.
Girl, too much.
Wow. Wow. we are comparing Ghana and Canada as it stands now, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering which country is favorable for doing which country is providing a thriving environment to do business. Is Ghana doing okay?
Ghana, business or events? Which one are we
Business
going for?
wise, business
So
wise,
business
yeah.
wise, so to be honest, right now Ghana, the economy is not really favorable. It's not really favorable. We even have our international people who are even doing business here leaving. How much more the locals? It's not really
Mm,
favorable. But if you have the right business plan, like you mentioned earlier, it was
mm,
like for me, my business plan, I drew it officially beginning of this year. It keeps changing, but now I have like the perfect one, and I didn't give it to anyone. I went through a business plan course on Udemy, found how to do it. I already have an accounting background. I did accounting in school,
okay,
so financial
okay.
aspect was perfect. So I was able to do that, and it's been
Mm,
it's been good. But our economy, is not the
mm.
best.
How is it in Canada, Michelle?
To be fair, the world economy is not the greatest at this point. With as somebody who studied economics and is very interested in that. But as a business person, there's always opportunity. You have to tap in.
Okay.
I always tell people, you will complain, but the people making money are making money.
They
Money.
And they will always make money. So you better put the complaint somewhere and just get to work. But having said that, I my clothing business is actually like based in Ghana. And events as well. I actually even have an event in Ghana I'll be flying down for as well. So I actually run events both in Ghana and Canada. And to be honest, business, like I said, business is depends a lot on the individual. I always tell people that even if you people are like they are lowering their prices, don't bother lowering yours if you know that you are offering a certain value. Because at the end of the day, people who are lowering their prices, they'll run out and people will start coming back to you who are offering a certain value. And so don't be in a rush to lower your prices because everybody's lowering their prices. If you want to do a discount thing, that's great. And that's
Yes.
because it's part of your business plan. But don't go around lowering your prices because the market is no. Don't let the market dictate to you. No. Because people make the market if you understand economics. And so I think for me, I enjoy doing events rather in Ghana compared to Canada because I think that in Ghana there's easier access to resources at a very economical price. A lot of skills in Ghana you can easily get people. People are yearning for that opportunity, and so it's very easy to do events in Ghana as compared to doing events here. You will get the resources here, all right, but it will probably come at a higher cost because here, a lot of the handy works, for example, are businesses established on their own. Whereas in Ghana, a lot of people do more freelance, like a carpenter will do freelance. You will get like a plumber doing freelance for something. You get same with like just in all the handy works, it's just easier to tap in when it comes to Ghana as compared to here, where people are more established in the handy works. But truthfully, the economy is not great anywhere. But as a business person, you have to make that opportunity for yourself and understand that you have to dictate to the market. Don't let the market dictate to you.
Dictate to you.
Exactly.
What are
Know your
funding
value.
options? Eva, you were saying something. Go ahead.
I was like, knowing your value is very important
Yeah.
because that will inform
Mm,
your pricing. You get to let the client understand what you actually bring to the table compared to other event vendors. Yes, we are all doing the same thing, but everyone has something unique that they all
mm,
bring to the table. So the
mm,
clients can say, okay, I want your uniqueness or the other person's uniqueness.
mm.
But then you need to
When
thrive.
it comes to you need to thrive. When it comes to funding option, how easy are these opportunities for startups or for entrepreneurs in Canada, Michelle?
It's actually quite. I think it's a better system than in Ghana, to be honest. When you establish, it's easier to get loans here, or to get a line of credit here, as opposed to Ghana. And so I think it's here, once you do your good research, you establish your business. Even in establishing your business, I encourage you to read wide, because establishing a sole proprietorship is different from establishing a corporation. It's different from establishing a conglomerate. Just read, just so that you know what you're going into and the advantages that you get with those. There are lots of business loans outside as well, and so do your research and be careful of certain things like the rates that they charge, or interest rates and stuff like that. And like I said, wisdom, I can't emphasize it enough. Like, read. Like, the one thing people are lazy to do, and which is why they get into trouble, is because they don't read. So read, like, read, and even people, if people tell you, go and make sure that you read and confirm for yourself, so that if a scenario comes up, you know that, okay, I read this here, and I can even file. A lot of people make money from filing suits. So to the point where you can file a suit and get 10K in your pocket for yourself, just for having that knowledge. Because like I said, there's a lot of opportunities here. And I'm sure that when I go on Instagram right now, my algorithm will be saying business loan, business loan, business loan, because that's what AI be doing. But but make sure that you read and you go into the details and figure out to understand that, okay, this is what comes with this interest I'm taking, this loan I'm taking. This is what comes with this line of credit that I'm taking. This is what comes with this specifically, so that you can actually fully enjoy what the that funding comes with. Also here, taxes are important everywhere, but it's more enforced in Canada. And so make sure that you are actually reading, and you have, for this one, I'll actually encourage you to get somebody with that accounting background, so that they can actually help you in terms of filing taxes. Because one of my friends got into trouble because they were just writing things off to their business, because that's what you can do that here. Or I move, I put what's it called, accommodation in my business. I write stuff as a business expense. I get a car, I write stuff as a business expense. You can do that, but just know that if you don't do it right, your taxes are gonna suffer the next year. And so just be careful about things like that. And that's why I said, again, it goes back into reading. The things that you don't want to do, please go and read. Or if you don't want to read, then go and get a specialist and pay the person the value for reading for you, so that you don't get in some kind of troubles.
You're tuned into Love Bay Radio, and we're right here on Voices of the Millennials. We're talking entrepreneurship tonight with Minika Creations and Burgundy Effect, all the way from Ghana and Canada. It's been an awesome conversation so far. Eva, how is funding accessible to young entrepreneurs in Ghana?
I think Minika has said it all. It's quite difficult here in Ghana. So it's either you actually go to the bank for funds, and even with that one, they need to even see cash flows in your account first, your business account, because they're going to give you a business loan. And if they are okay with this, you can get up to 150, depending on the type of loan you've gone for. And you can also get people, personal people, investing into your business, or join a venture capitalist or angel investors. That's what works for us here in Ghana. But most often than not, we always have people using their own money, and family and
Their
friends
own
support.
money.
Yes, their own funds. And
What if
family and
what if I don't have money? What if I don't have money, but I have the idea?
in Ghana, if you do not have money, you have the idea. Even banks will not buy your idea. You
I
need to
see.
start with something, because if banks need to even fund you, they need to see cash flows, because they need to know that you'll be able to pay for
Mm,
whatever cash flow you have available, and you'll be
mm,
able to pay for the loan you've gone for, because they can't just give you loan without any source of funds coming in. So,
mm,
as I said, it's family and friends. And as she said, if you get your first client, you can then try and make something small. It's not like you exploit your clients. I don't believe in exploiting your clients. I believe in making them pay for your value. So if they pay for your value, you actually get something as cash flow. For 6 months, you only have to depend on value to create your cash flow to get funds from the bank. And
mm,
any family
mm.
of friends that actually believes in your vision and wants to help invest in that vision, you can go with it. Also, you can go for debt. As I said, borrow from family or friends. I always use family and friends, because a stranger won't just give you any money.
Yeah.
So family or friends giving you money, then you pay. So it's either debt or equity. So whichever one you want to start your business with, it's okay with Ghanaians. But then mostly family
In
and friends. That's
Ghana,
what
In Ghana, there's a lot of businesses, or let's say informal entrepreneurs, that do not really know or understand or see the need to register their business. I don't know whether it's because it's stressful to register your business or it's expensive to register your business. How is your business registered, and how is it? How are the legal operations? I mean, in terms of trying to set up your own business, is registration something that you can do easily?
Yeah. Registration takes, if you are going through the normal way, it takes about 2 weeks and you get your documents registered. So far as you have your details, everything you need on your registration form, it takes about 2 weeks. You get your registration forms, corporation and everything intact. But I think most people do not want to register because of tax. That's what I think they are doing. But right now, I
Okay.
know um, that GRA, they are now going online, looking at people's businesses and going to them. So you can be safe now, but you never know when they'll best at
And
your
they'll
door.
find you.
Yes.
Um, Minika, how easy is it to register your business in Canada?
It's actually quite easy, but I just wanted to go one step back to
Okay,
something
sure.
that we're speaking about. I think that a lot of people find themselves in the situation of I don't have income to
Mm-hmm.
start. I'm a very firm believer in working for somebody before working for yourself. Just
Yes.
because you build up, you learn certain values that working for yourself, you probably will never have the opportunity to. Humility is one of the things you would like work for somebody, humble yourself, learn from the person so that you can become even a better boss for yourself. Because when even if you feel like you didn't like the experience working for somebody, you'll be a better boss because you won't treat other people the way you were treated. And for that,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be a better boss. And so I think that is really important to try, and even if you're doing volunteerism because maybe they're not picking you to pay you, put you on a payroll, volunteer for a while, for as much as you can volunteer, and just learn something, learn certain life skills, learn discipline. Like you wake at a certain time, you people and I know a lot of people know this now, like being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you can get to sleep whenever. No, you even work. I even work around the clock. People, I was talking to a client in Malaysia yesterday, and they are 12 hours. 12 hours. So literally my 9 a.m. is their 9 p.m. And this was me sitting down after work. I've worked till 6 p.m. I came back home. I've been on client calls. Everybody said that they want to speak at 10 p.m. my time. I said, okay, no problem. So I was up 10 p.m. Then at 10 p.m. they texted me, oh, they had to do something again 11 p.m. I was up 11 p.m. I still working. So later, I think we hopped on the car around 11 p.m. or so. But just around the clock. And then after I had that call with them, I have to sit down, put everything that we said, put the minutes together, whatever it is, start working on that creative piece because I have a turnaround time as well that I want to get back to the person. But I learned all this because I worked for somebody for a while. Just that, like this one time my boss told me 24 hours, they need me to submit a proposal. I sat here, I was almost crying. Let me tell you, I almost cried because now I didn't put the animation cry. I said my eyes were rolling with the animations as we were rolling on the screen. But I learned that because I worked for somebody. And so I understood the value of what it means to work for somebody and what it means to deliver good service. Because you can't work for Deloitte and be fooling around, you'll be fired. So like
Mm-hmm.
I learned those things because I worked for somebody. And so even if you feel like you don't have that income now, go and serve somebody. Even the Bible talks about service as well and the importance of serving. So make sure that you go and serve somebody, work with the person. You never know, that person will call you in the office one day and say, okay, I'll sponsor you for this thing. Or what are you about? Why do you work so hard? And they want to know about you. That in itself can give you a certain, like an angel founder. If you don't want to do that as well, then and while you do that as well, you can also gain some income for yourself and save.
Mm-hmm.
You will save as you do that. Save as you do that. And you realize that you have a certain income base for yourself. If not, then you literally have to work extremely hard to put together some sort of like wild idea. There are a lot of what like they say startup programs that come and share your idea. There are a lot of like TED programs as well. Just like I said, do a lot of research as well. There are a lot of programs that encourage people to come share their ideas. And then sometimes the prize winner wins something, some certain funding for their business. There's a lot, but you have to do research to be able to figure out how to get some of these start income. So don't let a certain funding be like a stop for you from starting
Mm.
whatever you want to start. But like I said, just always start from somewhere. You're starting from somewhere can look like working for somebody or serving somebody. You're starting from somewhere can be volunteering at your church or at a community or whatever it is. You're starting from somewhere can mean like working so hard on something and trying to and getting into a certain program that encourages that provides funding for people who are starting up. It can just look like anything, but just do that research so that you can start something. And I said this, I went back because I think that is really important for young people to be encouraged, that not having money doesn't mean that you can't start whatever you want to start. Going back to the registration question, it's really easy to register your business here, but different provinces have different rules. So just make sure that you're reading on it. And like I said, if when in doubt, find an expert, because like I said, you will make much more. You save yourself jail time. You will save yourself like any sort of harassment if you actually put in like find an expert to actually help you. And you'll be very surprised. You can easily tap into your community because there are a lot of people who have done it and who have led the path. And so if you're in doubt as well, you can always ask. But it's very easy. A lot of things, everything is on like on the provincial website. So just search it up, and it takes about $60, especially in Toronto, to register a business. Not even more than that. It's not about the cost. It's just about the knowledge, so that you don't get yourself into trouble for $60, just like one meal.
So
$60 is one meal. Yeah, I mean, really true. Right.
can I add a
So
little to what she said?
yes, you can.
There was something she said which was very striking. To serve. Seven is very key in entrepreneurship because even though I went into the event space, I served the lady I learned from for years, and I got to serve about three different event companies for years, and I learned a lot of things that I can't even pay for. It
Yeah.
was something I learned on the job, and that's what has made me who I am today. And I still even help other friends and colleagues in the industry. Anytime they need people to help in coordination, I actually go and serve. And I still do learn. The learning doesn't end with what you already know. Like
Yeah.
wisdom, knowledge, it just keeps going. The more you do it to people, different ideas, different impact. It's very great. Seven is very key in entrepreneurship so that you could learn the ropes. Now, when you are climbing, you know that okay, this is what they did and they failed at it. So now you know not to step on maybe the red line, but why don't you step on the yellow line? That is very, very good.
I
So
know
we need
your
people.
Yeah, I know you all spoke about having a certain niche for yourself. And so it brings me to the question of branding your business. How important is branding for leveraging on branding to succeed, in business? Michelle.
I can't emphasize branding. Like literally brand yourself. Brand yourself, brand your business, and be very sure about what you stand for. If somebody doesn't know you, but they see your page and they're like, oh, this is really beautiful, they would approach you because they see a certain, this is what you sell to the market. So as for branding, I can't emphasize it enough. Make sure that you put effort in branding, make sure that you invest in branding, make sure that you know what you stand for. Even when you speak, if you're given 1 minute in an elevator and you meet somebody and they are talking about, today I literally went to view a venue, and I met one of my friends and she was with their auntie, and we're having a conversation, and then the auntie, I said, oh, hi auntie, like I've heard a lot about you. And then she's like, oh wow, and she was excited, like she's one of those very like young giving aunties. And then she's like, oh yes, and I said she's very pretty, and she was like, oh wow, very pretty, yes. And I guess what, I'm 50. And then her niece was like, you're not 50, you're going to be 50 soon, but you're not 50. And I'm like, auntie, I will plan your 50th birthday. When is it? And then just like that. And she was like, look, like the energy that you came out with, you're definitely planning my party. And I was like, that is my brand. People call me, literally, my Instagram handle is Smiling Michi because I'm always smiling. And that, literally, that girl, people are describing, oh, that girl who was always smiling. I'm standing there and I'm just smiling because that's like literally, and I carry that into my brand. What do I want to provide? I want to provide luxe service. If luxe service means that I'm doing 5 events a year, that's what it means, because I'm providing luxury service. If I want to provide, if I say I'm providing, I'm taking every client on, that's fine as well. I mean, don't get it twisted. There's certain events that you do just to pay your bills, not because like it's you're offering this wonderful service or whatever. You just needed to that $200 to pay your bills, and that's what it is. So those like you are not in a hurry to post on your page or whatever it is. But at the most, I think that is really important to brand yourself, invest in that website, invest in people you feel like people are not looking. That one person will come and look and they'll pay you the value for what it is. So just make sure that you're carrying yourself as a brand, and that you're putting your brand out there as what you really want people to see when they go on your page, or what people to see when they ask about you. Oh, and so that I think that's really, really important.
Mm. Eva, how is branding received in your part of the world?
Branding is very crucial here because first of all, I believe branding creates a strong impression. It communicates professionalism and trustworthiness. So, how then are you supposed to communicate that if you do not brand yourself well? And also, it differentiates you from your competitors. A unique brand identity, including your logo, your color scheme, messaging, makes your business a memorable and distinct one from what market is actually offering. It also builds credibility and trust. That clients are more likely to trust your business anytime you brand yourself well, making them even sometimes. I believe that as a business, it's very crucial for people to know the face behind the brand mostly so that they know who they are dealing with. You might have an assistant, but you would have to be maybe the first point of contact before your assistant can take over, as and when you want your assistant to take over. Also, it fosters customer loyalty when they know who you are, they know how friendly you are. As my sister said, she mentioned the fact that she smiles, so she's noted for smiling. So they
Smiling.
know that okay, anytime they are here, they are going to feel comfortable because there's someone here providing that kind of service. If there's even heat in terms of pressure, they know that oh, because they've seen her smile, they can be calm. And it also supports market effort, putting you out there, like your social media page, be it TikTok, Instagram. You need to have a kind of feel that anytime people see this feel, they know who is coming from. They know where to get this feel. It attracts the ideal clients you are looking for. Branding is everything. And it also enables in premium pricing. I can't say anything lesser than that. Branding is the bedrock of every business.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. When
Yeah.
it comes to you guys are just talking about social media or how you're branding your pages on social media. So then it's getting me to bring in the question of technology in business. How are you guys thriving on technology, modern technology today, to thrive in your businesses? Michelle.
Yeah. I think that for me, I'm not very like tech savvy person. But like I said, I put in the effort to build relations with the people who are actually, good in the field, which is another great thing that you can do if you're starting. Literally barely. People always say that, oh, if you actually put yourself out there, because I travel a lot, and so people are always like, oh, you can put your like an influence. I'm like, yeah, I know myself, no. I'm like, I want to just work with, my bonnet and just be me. I don't want somebody to come from me. Oh, I know you. No, 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 I'm not that person. But having said that, I make sure that my photographers are always like up to the task. I make sure that my videographers same. I'm just putting in and networking with people who actually are into marketing. There are a lot of people who are into marketing now and are taking it up as a profession full time, which wasn't the case before. Because before people just used to think marketing was just like, oh, TV, what's it called, TV and radio, and just like flyers and billboards. But now there's even like I even go to meet somebody that she specifically does like she called it event videography, something event, like they do like these very short videos and they put like as reels on Instagram, and that's all she does. Like she just gets gigs and she gets all these really short like short reels, and she is actually here like what she does. And what she's doing is that she's connecting and collaborating with a lot of events people, and so when you're doing your event, you just call her and she'll get all these really nice reels that create that certain memory, because you can't post like 1 hour on Instagram or whatever it is like that. And so I think that marketing, just getting somebody who, if you're good at it, that's great for yourself. I'm personally learning like certain like apps like Templi and like things like that, like iMovie and things like that. But I think that if you don't have the skills right now and you still want to put yourself out there, try and be friend somebody that is good at it so that you can learn, or let them help you start putting stuff together as you also like learn to build yourself. um Having said that, I just want to say that another thing that I think that we both said is that it's not entrepreneurship is not I know everything and so that's when I'm starting. Is I learn along the way, and that's what even makes you a better person. Being teachable, so that if somebody who's been in the industry has done it for 30 years come and they say, oh, maybe your fork was has to move forward a bit, you learn from it, because there's a certain wisdom that comes with experience as well. So don't be afraid to learn, even as the experts are doing it.
Right. Eva, can you add something?
Yeah, right now technology is actually crucial in events. Even for people to book you, I think they go on social media to check your accounts and know how many events you've done, how successful it was, the number of likes and views.
So
And
if you're not technically savvy, you need to
you're in
forget.
trouble. You're in trouble. So,
Wow.
as she said, if you know you're not good at it, I believe if I'm not good at digital marketing, I'll rather take an expert good at it to produce what I want. And if the person produces and I get more clients, I get to pay the person well. So it's
Mhm.
just a give and take situation. But then again, I'm also learning the digital marketing so that as and when I need to post anything, I get to do it. So far, social media has been good. And when it comes to the accounting aspects, I use the Zoho Books, QuickBooks, which also helps in that return. For now, those are the two things I do: this digital marketing and the templates. Yeah, and Canva. Canva is very good.
Yeah,
Canva
Canva, yes,
helps
I know Canva too.
your creative
yeah,
Yeah.
you develop your creative aspect, so you can create your small flyers, depending on
Yeah.
whichever flyer you're looking at. You could create it with Canva, and also CapCut for your videos. So I think
yeah.
Mhm.
little by little we are getting there. We are
Yeah,
getting
Yeah.
you just learn. But
Yeah.
please, another
there.
thing, don't just brand yourself and don't know how to do the thing.
That's the
Because
issue.
don't, because that's another thing. People brand themselves. Like we want the pages like, oh, and then now you
You,
speak to a brand and it's like it's not
you are shipping
correlating.
tables. You are
So
shipping
please,
tables.
don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's another thing with I feel like people
Yeah, we
just
have
get
a lot of
excited.
people doing that.
Like for me, I feel like if I have a conversation with you and I know more about your industry than you, I'm not hiring you. I want you to have a
Exactly.
conversation with you, and I feel like okay, you're bringing a certain value that I don't know. So just
Mm.
I think that that is really important. Branding, but brand with having that wisdom and expertise about what you're
Yeah,
doing.
once you're also branding, you need to know the industry language, the
Yeah,
type of words that are used in the industries,
yeah,
and the do's and don'ts in the industry, because it's very important when you're branding, because you can't say
yeah,
you are branding and you do not know what the industry is really about and the kind of clientele you're also looking at. Because if you
Mm.
brand yourself well, you brand according to your clientele.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Right. So, ladies, I'm going to be asking you a question and I'll give you time to answer. So, I'm putting you on the spot, but this time I'm giving you time. So, I'm
Hey.
being nice. I'm asking you what how you see yourself in 5 years short term and 10 years, for example, long term. So, I want the short term and long term. But whilst you are thinking about this, listeners, I'd like to bring to you a very important news, because Voices of the Millennials is going to embark on its yearly summit, which is the Voices of the Millennial third annual summit, happening right here in Toronto on the 13th of July 2024 at the Humber Valley United Church in Etobicoke. We will give all the details that you need in terms of direction on Eventbrite, where you can get your tickets and you can register to be part of the event. Those of you who have been at the summit before, you know that we don't play. We don't play. So this is the third edition and it's going to be better than every other edition we've ever had. We have powerful speakers lined up for this event and we are giving out scholarships. So if you're in school, this is your chance. This is your time to thrive and get a scholarship for yourself. When you go to Eventbrite, the details are all there. But to enter the draw for the scholarship, you need to write an essay, explaining why you need the scholarship. And then we'll take a look at your academic as well as your volunteering work, and we will put it in the pool. And then if you are picked, then you have the scholarship for yourself. You can email the essay to lovebayradio2024@gmail.com. You can follow us on all our social media handles, lovebay_online radio, at Love Bay Music, Love Bay Afrobeats Music on TikTok, and info@gmail.com is also our inquiry email where you can reach us. You can ask all your questions. You can also call us on 437-778-3299. It's the Voices of the Millennial Summit. And of course, me, Anna Maria Emisa, I'll be hosting. I will be your host for this year's I am so excited. I'm so excited. And it's going to be fun, absolutely fun. It's going to be everything that you can think of for a youth summit. We are bringing all the vibe, and we are going to have some good all the Ghanaian and Afro-Caribbean dance moves coming in, repping it. It's going to be so. Eva, I am so sorry that you are not in Toronto. I'm so sorry that you're not in Canada. You are missing out.
I'm feeling
Don't
bad at this
worry.
point.
Lying.
We will put it online so that you can watch and give us shout out. So it's going to be fun. 13th of July 2024 at 2 p.m. And we will keep announcing this. Just go on Eventbrite and get your tickets to be able to attend this event. My ladies, it's been such an awesome discussion. Like the way we are talking, I don't even have time to read the messages that are coming in. But somebody is asking one question. Let me. I always read messages on my show. So if I don't read today, it will not be nice. So let me just read one message that has come in. I see it. It looks very serious. So this question is: I want to know the techniques you guys use for customer acquisition and retention. Customer acquisition and retention. How do you keep your customers? How do you even get your customers? Where do you go to go and say that you have this, you do this? Can you help me out? Yeah. So please, any of you can go first.
I could go. So I
Oh,
think
yes.
for me, a lot of it has been referral. Like I said, I've been planning events way before I even started Minika, and so it's been, oh, Michelle, and then it's like, oh, and so I think for me a lot has been referrals, and like I said, you have to deliver a certain quality of work for somebody to refer you. And so if you go somewhere, you brand and you get there and you go and disgrace yourself, that one, no one's going to refer you. But if you do work and people feel like, oh, this person handled this thing for me, and so let me approach them, then you get a sense. So I'll say just know what you're about and do good work, and then you get a lot of referrals. And then barely, to be honest, if I'm being honest, I think I've only had like 2 clients over Instagram. But social media also can play a part. Instagram, for example, allows you to boost posts, and so I think from that you can also get certain um clients on there. And in terms of retention, I think that just getting feedback is really important to help retain people. Clients are people, and what do people like? People like to be heard. People like to feel that they've gotten the service that they paid for. And so when you do that, you are most likely going to get people coming back to deliver that sort of service. And also find that one thing that's unique about you, because believe you me, that person, another event person is probably trying to poach your client. But find that one thing that makes you special. How do people and leverage that thing that makes you special and makes your business unique. And you realize that people will keep coming, and integrity of that particular thing that makes you special. Don't go trying to be like another person, because it would literally, you forget who you what's it called, pretended you were, if you start pretending to be other people. So just in terms of retention, I'll say that always see feedback from the people that from your clients, and then also make sure that you are maintaining the integrity of yourself in the business, because I learned that the hard way. about integrity in general. And so I think that really is one of the bedrocks of retention of clients.
Eva, what's your take?
I think Michelle has said it all, to be honest, because I also get mine through referrals, and I have like I've done most events that most clients will tell you I don't want it on social media. So more or less like private weddings, private events, and you do not post it out there. But then they realize that I keep to that. I keep to the contracts we have. So through that, they can just actually testify to their other clients, their friends, telling them that, oh, with Eva, when you tell her A, she goes with it. And she even goes over and beyond. I even went to the extent of getting a French client, which was very, very challenging because
Did you get a translator too?
I gave her a phone, so she types whatever. I just use Google
Oh
Translator.
wow.
On the day of the event, I decided to bring one of my workers in respect to branch that speaks French. So I brought him there, and he made my life so easy that day.
Oh
And they were
nice.
so excited that they could communicate now, and they were happy with everything. The fact that I made sure all the guests didn't use their phones. Phones were collected at the entrance. They were taken. They really had fun. And now they've called me back, and I'm supposed to go all the way to Benin. And I'm like, wait, this is a whole of Benin.
You should go. It's another
Yes.
experience.
Oh yeah. I will. I'm actually thinking and planning it. But then
Nice.
this is someone I worked for 2 years ago, and she keeps coming back year on year. Anytime she's in Ghana, she keeps coming back year on year. She's giving me more than 10 clients because of one event. And
Wow.
it's just because of and integrity.
Mm.
Integrity, as she said, I also learned it the hard way. So I remember when I started events, I thought, oh, you're supposed to add like a one CD, two CDs on stuff to make your money. But as I went down the rope, I realized that being transparent rather makes your life easy, and they get to actually believe you and trust you more. And when I started doing that, it's been so amazing. It's been so key, and my clients are very excited about it, and they always go and they come back. So
Mm.
referrals, word of mouth really works for me than
That's
social
awesome.
media. But then
That's
again,
awesome.
social media boosted posts. We've gotten more than 20 people requests. We are just praying and hoping that they will come back and say, oh, they want to move with us. Yes.
Nice, nice. Okay, so back to my question. Where do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years in your business as a boss lady and in life? I wanted to even ask you another question, but we are running out of time. But my producer said we can go on for a few. So before you tell me that, because that is your last speech for tonight. But I want to know, what do you guys do to relax? Because you seem very busy. You guys are very busy doing it. What is there anything you do to relax?
Good question. I usually go to the spa, to be honest, if I want to
Mm,
relax alone. But truthfully, creativity relaxes me. After especially like my work with Deloitte, because that's really, really stressful and it's very like detail oriented as well. But when I try want to relax, honestly, scrolling through things like Pinterest and just like
yeah.
other creative spaces actually does relax me. But if I want to be really intentional about getting off the screen, then like any of my friends would tell you, go spa and Michelle, we're like besties.
Nice, nice. Eva, you?
Okay. So when it comes to relaxation, I don't think I really know the word relaxation. And
Oh,
it's not
I
like I'm
see.
overly stressed. It's very key. So with mine, as she said, I'm on social media actually checking other people's job, what is new, because the world keeps changing in the event space. So you need to be up to date with that. And if I have to go out, yeah, I call my friends, I would plan it. That's another planning stage. And making sure they are
Once a
all there.
planner, always a planner.
So,
Always.
exactly. And when I decide to get off screens, yes, as she said, a spa or go to the beach side, or then I still go to the beach side, but with the Bible, or stay in the house and just read the Bible. It relaxes me. Like I just get assurance in a lot of things you are going through. Like,
Nice.
okay, this is stressing me. Okay,
The
what is
beach
the
and the
Bible?
Bible is what shocked me, but
Beach and Bible, my
like,
next.
Yeah, it calms you down, especially when there's no one there. Like when
oh,
you
I
go there
see.
mostly in the afternoon on a weekday, no weekend. Weekend is the worst. But then on a
Oh,
weekday, most people are actually at work. You are very
mm,
calm, looking at what God has created, and God can tell you,
oh,
oh,
I
I
see.
don't want to preach, but then there was one time I got a revelation looking at the ocean. and I saw
Nice.
rubbish coming out of it. Then it was more or less like the dirty things you've taken in, I'm pouring them out. And even what the canker worms has even installed in your business, I'm taking it out. Like it was just
Nice.
nature is very key. So it relaxes me,
Mm.
it gives me a surety, like I said.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's beautiful. So now to your question, for under 1 minute, let
Hey.
me know what the future looks like for Minika Creations.
Good. I think for me, is just getting myself my own event studio. Because that's one of the things that I really love to want to have my own venue space. And so I'm really hoping to get that. And also just like increase my niche into the corporate world as well. It's one of the things that I'm really looking to do for myself. Just grand summer parties, for example, for like corporate
Yeah.
businesses. I'm all about, the party. I think short term. I think long term, definitely a family. And I hope that my kids will love getting into that creativity with me.
Mm.
And so, that's one of the things that I'm really hoping for. But I keep dreaming, hoping for more destination events as well. That will definitely be a delight. So I can, get my traveling in, but be making money while I'm traveling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Eva, you?
So for short term, I'm looking at business growth and expansion for my businesses and also brand strengthening, like strengthening my brand more than it used to be. And also networking and partnerships. Partnerships are very good. Partnering with other vendors in the industry is very good. And also team development, because I realized that when I started encouraging my team members, they've become people great even in the industry and beyond. And with the long term one, yes, with long term, I'm looking at hmm, this long term. Okay, let me just put it out there. So with my long term, I'm looking at opening an event center and also diverse business portfolio. I'm looking at new ventures. I'm also looking at expansion. That's Africa and beyond, not just Africa, but Africa and
Mm.
beyond. That's what I'm really working towards, and also looking at how to create educational programs for community and social impact, also charity events, sustainability practices, and also for personal growth. Yeah, family, friends, and personal development is very key in everything I want to do, a balanced life. So whilst having my business life, I want to have like the balanced life also at the side. And I want to
That's
just create,
amazing.
yeah, a recreational center for Burgundy Fair where people come together to enjoy themselves. And the last one, short term, is a Burgundy Christmas. That's what I'm planning for this year. Gonna
Oh,
a Burgundy Christmas. That's the theme. I have the theme. I'm now putting in
I
the
love
customer
it.
oh, nice,
finances.
nice,
So yeah.
nice.
So
I
it's going to
wish
be
you
a
ladies
Christian
all the
Christmas
very
party.
best.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I wish you girls all the best. You guys are boss ladies. You are indeed mentors for young adults that are listening to us and wanting to do things that they haven't been able to do because they need that little push that they are not getting, but they are getting it right here on Voices of the Millennials on Love Bay Radio. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, ladies and
Thank you for having
listeners.
us.
Thank
Yeah.
you for always tuning in. And I did assure you that it was going to be the best 50 minutes of your time. We've gone 1 hour past it. So, well, it's been the best 1 hour of your time right here on Love Bay Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in as you always do. Stay tuned to our next episode where we'll continue to explore issues that matter the most to our generation. And remember, like I always say, your voice matters, your story is important. And together, we can build a brighter future for the generation to come. My name is Anna Maria Emisa, your regular host on Love Bear Radio, Voices of the Millennials. Join us next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.